All right, so we are doing this. This is, and I better scooch a little bit more. This is Getting Real with Amy and
Christina.
Yes. So I thought what we'll do for the first podcast is we'll introduce ourselves and who we are, what we're doing, so that everybody gets to understand why we are putting ourselves on video and with this setup. So I am Amy Steele. I'm a local Grand Valley based realtor. And Christina is as well.
Yeah.
So you are?
I'm Christina Garcia from Christina Garcia Real Estate.
Yes. Okay. I should have added in my.
That's okay.
The Steel Co.
The Steel Co. She's Amy the Steel Co.
So we are doing a podcast. Christina and I chatted, and we thought that it would be a good idea to do some community collaboration. Over competition.
Yeah.
So we're both real estate agents in Grand Valley, which is a small town. I think that our population right now is like 3,500. Mm-hmm. And Christine and I have been in each other's circles for a couple of years and have always kind of chatted nicely and been able to kind of share things. But we're both in different brokerages. So I'm with iPro Brokerage. So that's a real estate brokerage.
And I'm with Remax Real Estate Center in Orangeville.
Yes. So what that means is even though we're both real estate agents, we park our license with a brokerage. Right. So the brokerage then, even though they're different, we're still able to practice in the same area. And so we felt like it might be a great opportunity for us and maybe people in town, outside of town, wanting to get to know more about Grand Valley, or just friends that are curious and wondering what we're doing, what the H we're doing, and would want to kind of tune in, and we can chat about real estate. We're going to chat about real estate. We're going to chat about life. We're going to chat about events in town, local businesses. So we're both individual real estate agents, but we're moving forward. We're going to collaborate on this and probably other things in the future, depending on, what's a fit for both of us.
Absolutely.
Sound good?
And I think like what you nailed on was that the collaboration piece and that we're a community and we're working together instead of working against each other.
Yeah.
Well,
definitely. And that's something like, so we've got different setups for different, we've got some topics that we'll talk about, but local agents and the community is one of them. So hopefully we'll put it in the title and you can kind of see. So if you want to jump to that one, if you're listening to this and we have a few episodes ready. But I think that's because we have opinions on different things. And I think sometimes, do you feel like this, like real estate is gatekept a little bit in terms of the background of it?
Yep, 100%.
And I see some people that even if they're not my clients, they'll say to me after they've done a transaction with a different real estate agent, they'll say to me, "Oh, I didn't know about this," and I'm like, "No, that's not a thing." For sure. And I think both of us are with the personality. We have similar work ethic, similar mindset in terms of real estate that, it's not just about the commission check. It's about their relationship.
100%.
And yes, the commission check is how we get paid, but it's long-term relationships instead of short-term short-sightedness to just grab a commission check and run.
And our relationship doesn't end when the transaction closes.
That's right.
It still continues because that's just the type of people that we are.
Yes. A small-town vibe. And so we definitely felt like this might be good opportunity if we can figure out how to extract. We're still working on things.
Yeah. Bear with us.
Yes. How to extract the audio and then make it so that you can listen to this in your car as a podcast. And then also the video that if you want to watch it on social media platforms or YouTube or whatever, we can hopefully figure this out as we go. So I imagine it will be our friends and family members that are the first watchers and listeners.
Be kind.
Yes, and thank you for supporting us.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, I'm going to take a drink here. I'm not sure if you hear that in the microphone or not. And Christina made us lovely muffins.
Oh, yeah, and Cody's coming to check in and see what we're doing.
And this is the part of the Get Real that we thought it was funny.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously real for real estate, but then also like this is our life. Like you see us out not super makeup-y or
No,
anything.
I got some chicken wings, I call them.
My little hair clip that becomes like, I have long hair, but then I just always, you'll see me in town and I do this.
Because we don't have time.
That's right.
Because we don't have time.
So Christine, while I'm taking a drink, why don't you just share what you're like about your family and
Sure.
you coming to Grand Valley and just a little information about you.
So I came to Grand Valley 8 years ago. We moved into the Thomasfield subdivision in Mayberry Hill. Fell in love with the neighborhood, fell in love with the sense of community. My husband and I, Fab, grew up in Brampton. So completely different. Not a bad thing, just different. So we love the small town vibe that Grand Valley had to offer.
And what did you, when you first, how'd you come to Grand Valley? Did you see something?
So we actually purchased a home this was before I was a real estate agent. We actually purchased a home with a friend of ours who was a realtor in Orangeville. We had a home inspection. Always do your home inspections.
Yeah.
And they noticed some leaks in the foundation. So we backed out of the deal. And then we were driving and we were like, oh, Thomasfield. What's that? Let's follow the sign.
Oh.
So we followed the sign, came and saw the model homes, fell in love with the neighborhood, fell in love, although it wasn't quite established yet, but just fell in love with the charm, the river, the storefronts, and just Grand Valley on its own. I figured it was a great place to raise my kids. At that point, we just had Noah, my oldest, who was 8.
Okay.
Almost 9.
Yes, you got to put that in.
You got to put that in. Like, he'll be 9 in less than a month. And then, started our roots here. My sister lives in town.
So you bought the first phase then?
Yeah, we were
so
phase
original,
1.
Yes, so they're phase 1. So that was the first Thomasfield phase in Grand Valley. And do you mind, I call, you'll hear my story in a second, but I call like the new subdivision. Everybody that's, even though it's like 10 years, 11 years now, I call everybody kind of at the west that lives in the west end the new subdivision. Does that bother you?
No, not
that you live in the new.
Not at
I
all.
say, okay,
no, it takes a lot for anything to bother me. I'm like.
Okay. So you heard it here first. Christina's not bothered by it.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. And like when we moved in, when we picked our lot, like we didn't have neighbors to, I guess when you're looking at my house, the left of it, but we had lovely neighbors, which we adore, and that are never allowed to move to the right of us.
And they were established at the beginning too, right?
Yeah, they were already here. Their home was built.
Yeah.
Fell in love, and that basically is the end of it.
Yeah.
Now we have 3 boys. Cristiano's 5, and Leo's 9 months. He's napping. We planned this during nap time, so
but he
he
might
might appear. So you can see in the background. There's a lot of stuff going on, but that's who I am, and that's my life, right?
Yeah.
You'll often see the 2 of us at the hockey arena.
Yeah.
I bet you every day of the week, either one of us are there.
One of
for
us
sure.
is there. Yeah, for sure.
We're both our kids play on the Twisters hockey teams,
Yes.
different age groups. So we're huge supporters. Go Twisters.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, and similar to Christina, like with my family, I have 3 kids as well. I have an 18-year-old who is in college right now for carpentry at Conestoga. His name is Miles. And then I have a 11-year-old about to be 12 in March.
When's her birthday?
So this is Duncan. So his
his
birthday is March 24th.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
it's March 6th. I didn't know if they were around the same time.
And then Roslyn is my youngest, and she is 10, turning 11 in May. Yeah, those are important.
I have a May baby too.
Do you?
Yeah.
Oh, see, this is weird.
When's her birthday?
May 29th.
Okay. Leo's May 14th. And when's your oldest?
Miles is October.
Stop.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh my
Cristiano's October.
Miles is October 19th.
Cristiano's October 8th.
This is going to be loud in my yelling.
That's so funny.
That is funny. So 3 kids, all same birth months. Now we've just found this out.
Wow.
And both of us in real estate.
Yeah.
So yes, my story is I was born in Oakville. I'm raised in Oakville, and then moved to Dufferin County to Orangeville when my oh God, that's a little bit complicated, but I was married before, so Miles' dad and I settled in Orangeville. He was from Orangeville, so that's how come I got to Orangeville. I bought a house there with him. We settled there. And then when we split, I moved to Shelburne. So I've also lived in Shelburne and bought a house there. And then my husband, Doug, we have Roslyn and Duncan together. he was born and raised in the Valley. So he's a Valley boy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Through and through.
Yep. And when we had our son Duncan, we moved to Grand Valley, and we bought a house in the older, I call it the older part of town.
Yep.
But the house is a new build. So what happened is a developer bought a separate piece of land, and built 2 houses there. So we got to pick some of the finishes and what have you.
Oh, nice.
Yes. But there's challenges, I think, and benefits on different sides of town, which we can talk about in another episode.
For sure.
But yes, we love living in Grand Valley. We love raising our children here. The small town vibe is something we were very much attracted to. And so, yes, before in my previous world, I was in dental administration. And then got into then I was a virtual assistant for a few years for international speaker and author, and he did like retreats around the world.
Oh, cool.
So that was very cool. I got to travel to do a few different things, and he was just an amazing person. So learned a lot from him, but then went into real estate. And back in Oakville, my grandma was a real estate agent. And then,
cool.
Yeah, previously my mom, when my parents had moved to Alberta for a bit, she was a real estate agent.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it kind of goes in the family line a little bit.
It's in the blood.
Yes. And you didn't speak to that, your background before real estate.
Yeah, just as you were saying that, I was going to touch on that. I have my teaching degree as well. So I've worked for Peel for numerous amounts of years in different capacities. I was an early childhood educator, and then I got my teaching degree. And while I got my teaching degree, I actually worked at a real estate office in Brampton, and that's where I fell in love.
Yes.
And kind of put it to the back burner because I was in teachers college and already had a set.
There, you were in admin, right?
Yeah, office admin. So I would just, I got familiar with all the lingo, all the paperwork, and basically broker loading and doing all that fun stuff, which we'll talk about another time, I'm sure.
Yes.
And then, so I taught for Peel for quite a few years. When I had Leo, when I was pregnant with Leo, I got my real estate license.
Her youngest.
Youngest, yes. And then I decided, you know what, no better time than today to switch over and follow my passion, because this is what, it's been, 12 years since I worked in real estate, and it was still something in the back of my head that was telling me, do it, do it.
Yeah. Well, in very much different stages, so I give you a lot of credit, because trying to do it, 3 kids on both sides, it's hard trying to manage everything. But I think it speaks to also, Christina's a very strong multitasker, organizer, and that's, I think, you're able to do it while also having a family. Yeah. And also, though, in a small community, when some people might listen to this or see this, they might be from a bigger place, and you were saying before Brampton, but I find, at least in Grand Valley, there are a number of people, hockey families, but not even if you're in hockey, and just the community that I could call to say, hey,
I need help.
Yeah, can you watch the kids for an hour?
Oh, 100%. Yes. The sense of community in Grand Valley, it's just unspeakable. It's just...
And that's an amazing part of living here, I find. Yeah. We'll touch on this too on a different episode. We have a bunch of different ideas, but community involvement too. There is a part of that if you're kind of people are helping you, you're also trying to help.
Giving back, right?
Yeah. As well.
And for me, the sports and recreation is a huge thing. I grew up playing competitive soccer my entire life. So,
I played soccer. Oh my God.
Whatever way I can give back.
House league. I was maybe strong in house league level, but competitive soccer is a real.
Yeah, and I even played in women's league, Ontario Women's Soccer League. Yeah, yes. It was a lot of fun, and then that's kind of
huge
faded.
Time commitment.
It is, and I played all through having my children too, but then with Leo with my back issues. Yeah. He's kind of put a stamper on that.
Yes, if you see Christina walking around town limping a little bit, her sciatica is a beast.
Yeah, so that's another episode.
Yeah. General health issues, yes.
Getting older.
Yes, having babies and what that does to
your
body.
So when I was pregnant with Leo, I was considered a geriatric pregnancy.
What?
Yeah.
know.
Anything over 35, I was told, is a geriatric pregnancy. So this was like, I was like,
yeah, so they're like, oh, the grandma's coming in today.
And so it's like we've like changed our lingo in so many things, but like still 35 geriatric pregnancy. That was upsetting.
A lot of people, well, and this ties into the hockey and housing market. Yeah. Because a lot of people now with these prices have been pushed to getting their first home a lot later, and they're then having families a lot later as well too. But apparently if you're 35 or over, that's
you're in pregnancy.
Your geriatric time for pregnancy.
That was a fun for me to learn.
So talking about community, so what we thought we'd do, it may not be every time that we hop on, but we thought we would talk a bit about, I never know, like talking
I know.
We'll go back and forth, whatever works. About the local community, just kind of doing some shout outs, giving some more information. We can talk about that. So I was doing on Fridays an update for events, and I do a local business spotlight and stuff like that, but we're going to be kind of melding some of that into this. Right. So you may not be seeing me off on the side doing that. Christina are
but she's still working her butt off on the side all day, every day.
Well, we're
for
both
the community.
Very much involved in the community, yes,
for sure.
So I thought let's talk about. So this episode, obviously, you got a little bit about who we are and what we're doing here, and then we wanted to just also touch on a few. We're hoping to kind of, if we figure out the editing piece, hoping to, or this might be a very rough first episode going out with no editing, but hoping to maybe get this out by the end of the week so that some of these things that we're going to talk about will be relevant.
Right, because we have a huge event on Saturday.
Yes, so for hockey families, but it also is for the community. Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
Hockey Day in Grand Valley. So Hockey Day in Grand Valley, and I do call it a Hockey Day in Canada.
Oh my God, I do that all the time. I did it the other day at the ring to people, and like, Hockey Day in Canada. I'm like, yeah, I just can't stop saying it.
It's Hockey Day in Canada. No, so it's Hockey Day in Grand Valley. I do think our organization was one of the OGs. And for all of you people that don't understand the hip lingo, that means
originals. Hashtag.
Yeah. Original OG. For those of you that are listening, I did them. What is that? You tap the two fingers. Is that hashtag?
Yeah, hashtag.
Yeah. I'm hip. Just watch out. So I think we were one of the OG centers that did it, and then now there's some other local centers. Maybe they did it before, but I never realized. Yeah. And now they're doing it too. So what it is, it's big day that we host home games for all of our teams. Yeah. So other centers like we have South Gray, we have.
I feel like Arthur might be coming.
Yes, so there's a few different local-ish centers that are coming to play against our teams, but then it's a major. I would say the biggest fundraiser for our organization. Yeah. And it is important, minor hockey in Grand Valley, minor sports in general. It is lovely to be able to have something for your kids in the town that you live, not only for convenience of driving and, getting them to the arena, but I find in a small community, it creates an opportunity to connect with others in your community at the rink. And then it also creates an opportunity for the kids to strengthen their bonds with maybe kids at school or outside of school. We have a mix of kids on the team that don't go to just Grand Valley Public School. There's other schools that they go to. So it gives them an opportunity to get to know other kids and really create that team environment. So it has become, I think, when people say like a hockey family, if you've ever done a rep team with your soccer, you would have done that too. It becomes like a family unit, that team.
100%.
I think we're not a rep center, but I think that gives for those of you that aren't used to it, it gives that feel of a rep, like the whole center, because it's a small group of parents and kids all coming together. Right. And helping each other and supporting each other. It does require a little bit more involvement from the parents in terms of sometimes when you're going to a large, and that's, I think, some of the challenge when people move here is they don't really realize the difference between house league and local league. And I didn't, and also I can't skate. I don't.
I'm not a skater.
I am
either.
horrible at hockey, and I don't really love watching. I love watching my kids.
Yeah.
That's a quick fact about me. I don't even when the Canadian juniors.
Yeah, see, I like that.
Yeah,
I'm
so
like
I didn't
super
even watch
competitive.
one.
It's not that I really like the sport. I'm just super competitive. So like
So
I
you
needed
got
to
into
watch
it.
and like
Yes.
I was riled up and like
I made
I'm doing the
sure-
heartbreaker celebration too. Like
What
you
is
know?
that?
Oh, I'm gonna probably pronounce his last name wrong. Conrad Berard.
No, Bedard. Okay.
Bedard, thank you.
It's Connor Bedard. That's the one thing that somebody told me. They're like, Amy, even if you don't know it, like you have to know a little bit. So I'm like, when everybody,
Yeah,
when somebody
he's
would come
phenomenal.
up, yes, apparently, I'm like, I don't watch it.
Yeah.
When somebody would come up to me and say like, oh yeah, the juniors or whatever, and
You
I'm
could
like,
just say his
what
name.
about that Connor Bedard?
See? And I was calling him Bedard. See, I kind of knew who he was.
People are not coming to here for
no
hockey chat.
Yeah, it's not a hockey chat, but like it's the competitiveness in me. That's why I joined in, and that's why I watched it.
Yeah.
And like my kids only started hockey last year, so they're not the greatest.
Yeah, well, no, they are.
They try,
They're
they
doing really
try.
well. And one of them just got a goal this past weekend.
Oh
right?
yeah, that's my Cristiano.
Yes.
So he plays in the IP program. He's 5,
Yeah.
and he just is a little go-getter.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Well, and I think that speaks to, so for the hockey day, it speaks to like the other teams kind of help support each other. Parents interact, but it's open to the whole community.
Yes.
So that's why we say Hockey Day in Grand Valley. It's a fundraiser for us, for the minor hockey, to keep that league going and all the expenses that it takes to keep the league going.
Yep.
And then also there's like raffle 50-50.
Liquor license.
Yeah, so there's a booster
Food.
club. So there'll be food, there'll be all to purchase, and then there's an alumni game as well. So if that's this Saturday, February 25th.
Yep.
And I think it starts around 9 o'clock.
Yeah,
the first
9
game.
is when the
9
IP
a.m.
kids play.
And there's also an equipment drive as well too. So wanted to touch on that. There are other events going on in Grand Valley.
Yeah.
We'll just, with timing here, we're trying to keep these to 20 minutes. We're going over on this.
We were
first one.
chit-chatting a little too
Yes.
much.
But we'll just wrap it up with a few events
Yep.
in Grand Valley, and then we'll sign off for this one.
Yep. So we have, I think it's every Sunday and Friday, there's public skating.
Yes.
And on Sunday...
Just double check at the arena though. Sometimes too, with the public skating, it's like $2 to get in.
Yeah.
And it's like Friday nights, I think it's at 7:30.
7:30 to 9.
And then Sundays it's 2:30ish.
2:30 to 4.
Yes. It is on pretty consistently during when the ice is in, but just if you're driving in or you're double check, like just make sure that you double check with the arena.
Yeah. Always just call ahead of time.
Yes.
Things happen.
Yes, for sure. And then the library has all their programs. Which
Yes.
Go to the Grand Valley Library website.
Yep.
And they have all their programs listed there, but
And
it's for everyone.
I was going to say, they have a program from like infants all the way up to like whatever the age is.
Yes.
Like it's unlimited. There's different programs, different days.
Yes, and we'll hit on those at different episodes too to talk about some more in detail. But like to give you an example, their Coffee, Tea, and Connection is a great program for like adults 18 over. Anybody, it's usually held on a Friday. And then there's also like this week today. There's a Dungeon and Dragons. For
I saw that. That looks so cool.
Older. There's like an
Stranger
intro.
Things
Yeah,
vibes.
Duncan's going there. For
Yeah.
sure. He's like, sign me up.
Yeah.
So that is available at the library too. But they have all their programs, and that's another one. You just have to double check.
Yeah, to make sure. I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
because weather
changes.
sometimes cancels it if the buses.
And
cancel.
if you have Instagram, follow. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with her name. I know you'll know her name. The Grand Valley Library. She does like the
Sarah,
funniest,
the programs coordinator,
the funniest reels.
Yeah, she's a little bit famous. The Grand
I love
Valley
it.
Public
I love
Library.
it.
Yeah, she's good at reels and TikToks and stuff. Yes, make sure you go and follow
her for
Instagram.
sure.
And then there's also at the arena there's also other skating time like parent and tots, shinny hockey.
Yeah.
But you can go check those out. The timings of all of that is a great way to get some activity and meet other people and have something to do. And the early years is also at the I call it early years, but it's called early on, isn't it? Now. They changed their name.
I don't know
what it is.
Early years, early on.
Yes. And what that is, for people that don't know, so at the arena, they have an actual room there that is just theirs. And it is, Christina's got younger kids now that can actually go to it, but it's geared towards infants and younger kids, like toddler, preschool age, right?
Yeah. I think 5 is the...
Yeah. Now, when I came to Grand Valley and had my kids, it was open every day.
It used to be. I feel like it used to be when I had Noah, my first. But I'm sure with COVID and like that,
COVID kind of was the
beautiful
catalyst.
world.
Yes.
COVID.
So now it's only open, I think, 1 day a week. Is it? Is that right?
I'm not sure.
And then it's like 1 Saturday a month. But then they have some outdoor programs, and you can go to other
and I know like the
centers.
educators that are there are like phenomenal.
Yes, they are. Yeah,
phenomenal.
Yeah.
So definitely check out their website. They have Instagram as well.
Yes.
And see their schedule.
Yeah. Check before you every week. You got to check before you go because they change it. Yeah,
for sure.
And anything, so like just, and our local businesses. So we've got, I just wanted to give a shout out, new owners at the Mill Creek.
So
Pearl
good.
and Chris, they're fabulous people. They've lived in town for years now. They've taken over the Mill Creek. They're the new owners, and we went there for lunch together last week. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And really trying to, it seems like, get involved in the community and freshen things up there at the Mill Creek. Some old favorites still on the menu, but it looks like they're spicing things up a little bit
I haven't seen a lot of changes to the menu yet, but like I've seen like some side throw-ins of...
Yes, and I heard that they're going to do some rebranding, and they're actually my local business spotlight for March. Yes, this month it's going to be, it's Kimberly Bell from Revolution Travel Group. So she's a travel agent that lives locally. So that will be coming out on Friday. You'll probably be listening to this maybe on Friday, but that's coming out as well. And Mill Creek usually has something on, and then Wrinkly Bear as well usually has something on, or they're trying to put events on during the weekends, like dartboard or karaoke or
which is great because then we don't have to travel. There's no need to have to travel out of town.
Yeah, and we got to support these places, people.
For sure.
If you want things available in town, you got to support local. And support them through sometimes some hiccups and learning curves and all of that.
Yeah, and never base your opinion based on like one experience.
Yes, try and give them
a couple
times. Yeah.
Be kind.
Yes, I agree. Okay, so we are well into...
We're at our 27th minute.
So we're going to wrap it up. So we hope you enjoyed this. Yeah. We're going to... It will get better. We will keep working on this.
Yeah.
And we'll figure out like... Sometimes you can't see our hands and stuff. If you're listening, you obviously can't see them, but on the video you can. So we'll try and figure out that.
And I need to get some maybe anti-glare glasses.
It's is it reflecting? Oh, yeah. I didn't even notice.
It's okay.
So wrapping up, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And we're going to try and make this a regular thing. And, collaborating and trying to... have that sense of community like Grand Valley is instead of competition. If somebody out there is doing something that you like or admire, like Christine and I just had a chat and said, how can we work together? That makes sense for both of us. So even though we're both individual agents at different brokerages, we can still chat, we can still help each other, we can still support each other. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's the name of the game here in Grand Valley, or at least we're trying to continue to make that the name of the game. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Signing off.